So it's been a week in Varkala. I have no idea how this amount of time has blown by. It's definitely been a roller coaster, and not an extreme roller coaster, but it's definitely had a lot of waves to this experience that I just wasn't expecting. And I thought maybe I'd start with just how I felt when I first got here. So, when I first got here, obviously, you've seen some photos and videos of just how beautiful it is. It's on the Arabian Sea. The waves are crashing. The beach is beautiful. There are palm trees everywhere. It's sunny. It's glorious. This is my type of weather. But at the same time, there was also a lot sort of going on. I shifted from being in Kochi, where I was in a hotel, which actually, now that I look back, was so much more luxurious than I even thought. Now I'm staying in a hostel, which is a whole new experience for me. So that was a big adjustment to, sharing my space, being around so many people, different people. And maybe I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But also coming here and then immediately feeling a little bit unsure, um, having all these doubts come up in my mind of like, what am I doing? Why am I here? Is this is this the right thing for me to be doing? Am I in the right place? Did I just make this plan up out of nowhere? And is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? I thought I was going to come to Varkala, spend a couple of days, be quite anonymous in this hostel. I don't know why I thought that, but I thought I would do that. And I immediately jumped into my first chapter of my trip, which or as was planned, around jumping right into Ayurveda, experiencing a panchakarma, really just starting off with that. But that's not how I felt. Like when I got here, like I said, I felt a bit unsure. I was adjusting to the hostel environment. Um, yeah, I just had all these doubts come up, and I was feeling a bit internally conflicted with what I was doing. And I just had to start going with the flow, even if it was a little bit uncomfortable. So just meeting people, and I love to meet people, but I think initially I felt a little shy. I felt less confident because, my Hindi isn't very good. And, this world of hostelers that I've come across, at least in this hostel, is mostly Indian travelers, and everyone speaks Hindi or something else. And of course I can use English, but, I feel a little bit of an outsider in some ways. But then I just started going with the flow and meeting people. And, at the same time, I had these plans of like, oh, I'm going to go do my research. I'm going to start exploring these things. But I think inside, I felt a resistance. And even when I would plan, it wouldn't pan out. But at the same time, all these fun things were happening. I was meeting people, you know, I sat down for breakfast and I think I had my books and my laptop ready. And someone's like, we're going kayaking. Like, do you want to come right now? We're going in 10 minutes. And, I kind of have had to capture and take advantage of some of these moments. So that's what I've been doing. And it's been nice. I think there's been a bit of an internal struggle with me of being like, I have this plan, I have this direction. And then all of these experiences keep coming up. So one was around kayaking, one was just around spending time with people that I've met. And, others have been around this festival of Onam, which, I look back on now, which was a few days ago, and I couldn't have planned to have a better Onam. Like I knew that there would be Onam during this time. Onam is a harvest festival, and there's also another mythological story behind it as well. I won't get into that. But getting to have that community feel, go shopping with a bunch of new girlfriends, go buy saris, go buy, jewelry. And shopping in India is probably one of my favorite experiences. Obviously frustrating, but just also so, so, so fun. And then getting to dress up and be part of a festival. I love festivals, and celebrating and dancing and eating amazing food, eating sadhya, which is like eating all of these small, or it's a preparation of a whole bunch of different vegetarian foods that's served on a banana leaf. Like all of these are quite dreamy when I think about it. And all of these things were just panning out naturally. Um, so that was happening, but then I was also getting these, so I had that sort of conflict of, okay, I want to start this Ayurvedic mission that I have, but then I'm also having fun and I'm meeting people and we're partying and we're dancing and just connecting in different ways, talking about, lifestyle in India, lifestyle abroad, me talking about my experiences with Ayurveda and yoga and dance. And oh my gosh, people seeing my Instagram and then labeling me as the dancer, and then me actually be getting super shy and not feeling confident as a dancer and feeling really like put on the spot. And that's silly. So many people are saying like such beautiful things about, like, wow, you're such a good dancer. And looking at some of my videos, me dancing in the desert, like what am I doing? um, but yeah, I guess one of the other wrenches that sort of came up was, I have this plan to go to Rishikesh to get deeper into yoga, and there's been a lot of rains and landslides there, so I don't know if that plan is going to work. And that was weighing on my mind a lot as well. And it's something that, it's not what I'm doing right now. In my head, it's the next step or the next sort of chapter of my trip is to go there, but I may need to rethink those plans. And for a while, digesting that was really hard. I think now I've been able to sit with it a bit more, and I think I will figure it out when I figure it out. And I think part of why I've been able to feel the way I feel now is I've spent some time meditating. And to be honest, my practices around meditation, yoga, pranayama, they've not been perfect. I think this is a good reality check that when you have a stable life, and I look back, my life, the way things were set up in London, allowed for a lot of stability, which is a beautiful thing. But it also meant it was easier to be more consistent with my practices. And now I'm learning that, hey, life is chaotic, and if you want to do all of these other things, you need to find ways of incorporating these practices in your day to day. And it may not be the way that you expect. I posted some stories of me meditating and doing yoga, and then other people have wanted to join, which has been nice. But I'm also not used to other people joining my practice. I'm not used to people asking. Sometimes I invite other people, and of course I'm still being true to myself and making sure that, okay, is this something that I want to invite this person to? So I made a conscious decision there. I wasn't just saying yes to other people. But anyways, what I wanted to get to is that being surrounded by the beach, nature, the waves, I mean, they're incredible. They're quite aggressive. They're really forceful, but also very peaceful. And so I've been, when I have a chance to sit by the water, either in an active meditation or just when I've been on a walk, or even when I've been with friends, I've been taking moments to just consciously connect to nature and to the universe, and meditate on first just the sound of the waves, focusing myself that way, just pulling my mind always back to the waves, away from my thoughts. And some of these have been visual meditations, not just closing your eyes and listening, but watching. I think those are other practices or other things we don't really talk about, that there's more than one way to meditate. So doing that to get a bit more present, and then thinking about how the waves are almost symbolic of coming washing away that which doesn't serve you, and always cleaning cleaning your plate, your vessel, however you want to call it, but just slowly by slowly washing away that which doesn't serve you and allowing space for what does. And and then when I had, a bit of peace, I'm not saying that I'm some perfect meditator, but then just putting my questions out to the universe and trusting that the universe, the ocean, well, it's a sea, representative of the ocean, representative of the universe, would take that and serve me an answer organically when I needed it. And, I did that with trust. It was also hard, I'll say that. I've done it a couple of times, and it has been hard. It hasn't been easy to just be like, yep, these are my outstanding questions. These are the things that I want some clarity on. But instead of thinking about it, I'm going to give it up. It was hard. But I tried, and I let those go. And then I think I just kind of got on with it. If you've seen some of my Instagram posts or stories, you've seen that I've been doing really cool things, kayaking, on just wandering around cafes, hanging out with new friends. And I've just been enjoying that, and also recognizing that maybe this is also part of this Ayurvedic experience that I'm searching for, is also around having fun and connecting and meeting real people, and not just going inwards all the time. There was something one of my new friends said to me. He said, Arthi, India isn't just about spirituality. I hope you have other experiences. And it's true. Now that I've come here and met, first of all, so many solo travelers, so many female Indian solo travelers who've done very brave and incredible trips, trekking, partying in Goa, for example, seeing all of the north of India. Just, I can't, there's so many things that they've done that have just opened my eyes and possibilities to so many, just like I said, possibilities of travel within India that I hadn't thought were possible. I think I'd put some caps on what could be possible, thinking, oh, you can't travel solo in India, that, it's not safe for women. But I think there's a lot of ways to travel safely and travel effectively, because, when you travel solo, in fact, you're not really alone. You're solo, but you're not alone. You pick up people along the way. In fact, sometimes I felt like I haven't had any alone time. So yeah. And then I think I didn't really realize it, but eventually things have been falling into place. Like I said at the beginning of the week, I had these plans and I was trying to do them, and it just didn't pan out. But the past couple of days, I think I've had a lot more clarity. It's been very organic in terms of me exploring some of the Ayurvedic centers that I wanted to explore, that I had the intention of exploring and getting more information on. And funnily enough, I forgot my notebook with all my questions, but when I went, all the right questions came to me. And I think I also had just a feeling of what felt right and what felt wrong, what felt authentic, what felt like it had a connection versus what felt more business-like and transactional-like. And again, another friend that I'd met along the way. And I guess that's just it as well. Like, you meet people along the way who will advise you, and they'll drop little sentences that you don't realize are so important. But even he said to me, he was just like, I was explaining to him, like, oh, I have this, I need to research these places, and I don't really know how to go about it. And he just said, you'll have a feeling, you'll just know. And in fact, that's actually what happened. I did my research. I met some different doctors here in Varkala at different centers, and I just got a vibe. So I guess the nice thing is that episode, so to speak, ends with some good news in the sense that I have a direction of where I'd like to do a panchakarma here in Varkala. There was a lot of time where I doubted that. I thought, oh my gosh, have I made a mistake? What am I doing? But I think I'm on the right path. So, and I guess there's no such thing as right or wrong. Everything's an experience. But I'm just feeling a lot more clarity. And I don't think I even realized it that in the moment when I was feeling that clarity that, oh, wait, I asked for this. And then I actually did get this. So I feel quite lucky. Not every story, not every wish you put out there does come back to you and does come true. So yeah, I feel quite lucky and I feel a bit more settled. There are so many other topics I can talk about regarding my first week in Varkala, but I think I'll leave it there. I hope this helped you understand my week, my time a little bit more, and that, what you've been seeing online, most of it has been unplanned, but also just